Hey guys, wanted to come on here and do a video. I wanted to share some things. I was getting ready for the day. I was doing a lot of sharing on Facebook, and I was listening to a podcast, and I was working on my legs. I was on the vibration machine so that I could make sure that my legs and my body was feeling good. So that's what I have been doing for myself today. And it's really good for you to do something for yourself for the day. And like I said, I was getting dressed. I just went ahead and put on a cute little shirt. This was a gift from a friend from church. I got some leggings on and nothing fancy or anything. I wanted to come on here and share a message. But also I'm going to do my makeup just so that I can get ready while I'm talking to you. And I said a prayer before I came on here to do this video because there were a few things that I wanted to talk about. And I hope that everything flows and is received properly. And I hope I end up sharing a good message. And if not, something I just wanted to put out there. Okay, so I'm going to start with putting on some spray. So there's this one. I think this is from Bath & Body. This is Bath & Body. This is the one that I've been using lately, and I like to mix with this one from Victoria's Secret. I really like those two together. And sometimes I even throw the vanilla in the mix just because I don't know. I've been liking to mix things. This one is really strong. So sometimes I just got to get out of the way because it's like, whoa. And then there's this one, which is the tease. And I'm going to need another one of this one. I don't even know if they sell it anymore, but it's my favorite at the moment. I've been using this a lot. You can see I'm almost done with it. And I need to put on my mask because you guys know I haven't been using any foundation. This is what I've been using lately. So basically what I do, I know it's a sheet mask and I'm supposed to use it as a sheet mask, but I get like 5 uses out of this. I squeeze out all the liquid from here and I apply it in different, at different times. And then what I do is I do this so then I can keep reusing it. And I just fold it the other way the next time. And that's just been helping me use the face masks more. I was telling my mom about it and she's like, wow, you really, really get your money's worth. These don't cost a lot. You can get them at the Miss A shop for $1 and some. My face is clean because I just washed it. So what I do is I just put it right back in the packaging. So it's fine. I end up using it 4 or 5 times depending. So that is what I use. I don't use any more foundation. I just use face masks. And then I'll go ahead and apply the color. And that's just what's been working. And I don't know if I have my little fan in here. It would be nice for me to have my little fan so that I could dry my face. But I don't see it in here. Where is it? Somebody took it. Somebody moved it. I had it here. No, it's here. It's here. Ya ando hablando mal, mira. It's right here. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. I've been putting a face mask and then I'll just put some color on. Okay, so back to what I was trying to talk about. I was watching these ladies, these Christian ladies in a podcast. They are from a different faith. I'm not really sure what faith they are. One of them, her name is Joyce. The other one I know, her name is Cece. And the reason why I know Cece is because I like to listen to a lot of her music. She sings The Goodness of God. She has several songs that I love to listen to. And I didn't know she was a preacher, but she did mention that in the podcast. And so I've just really been enjoying listening to them too. The other ones are obviously Christian, but I don't know exactly what church or if they're preachers or not. I don't know. But I've been sharing their podcast on my timeline. So if you guys want to go ahead and listen to it, I like to listen to it in the background while I'm doing things. And sometimes I just focus completely on them while I'm on my vibration machine, trying to get my lymph moving, my lymphatic system moving. So that's been helping me kind of make sure that I'm taking care of myself. I'm listening to something good, and I'm actually doing something for myself at the same time. So I'm on the vibration machine trying to move my lymph because we haven't been able to go to the gym. So yeah, that's what I was doing. And a few things. I posted some things on my Facebook that they shared that actually stood out to me. But I wanted to talk about one of the podcasts they were talking about was about change. And I know for a lot of us, we have a hard time, especially me. I have a hard time with change, but I've been learning. God has been teaching me about change, and that change is good. I have always been more like of a routine kind of a person. And I don't know if that's because like school and because of, things that we were brought up doing. Because we started working at a really early age and stuff like that. My parents would have us work at a athletic club, the McAllen Athletic Club. And I don't know if you guys know of that, but we were selling bows at a really young age. So we were like always on a routine. And going to church on Sundays. So things were always a routine. So I've always been like a very routine person. I don't really like change that much, but God has been teaching me about change. And I kick and pull, I kick and scream while change has to happen. But I've learned now at my age that change is good. And change is needed. And so I was kind of reflecting on their podcast and all the things they were saying. And I think that's something that I wanted to talk about change. And also about not being scared of being different. I've always been the different one. My older brother, the one que sigue. So it's my older sister, then my brother, and then I have another brother, and then it's me, and then it's my little sister. So my brother always, not the oldest, but the older one, right on top of me. He says que soy la rara de la familia. That means that I'm the odd one of the family. And I don't mind being odd. I know I'm different from my brothers and sisters. I don't know why. I just am. But they love me anyway. God loves me anyway. My husband loves me. My kids love me. So apparently a lot of people on here love me because, you guys wouldn't be watching me if you didn't. And so something I was listening to Joyce talk about is about not fitting a mold. She's a preacher, and she was telling her story about how she became a preacher and how long it took her to understand what God needed her to do. And she couldn't be what her pastor wanted her to be. She tried to be like her pastor and how submissive and so sweet and so how she was, right? And Joyce was like laughing at this, saying like she was not like that. God needed her to be who she was. See, God created us all differently. He didn't want us all to be the same. And so I don't have a problem being different. I actually enjoy being different. And I know a lot of people don't understand that. And sometimes I walk out of line and I say things and I do things that are different because I feel that that's what God is calling me to be. And He wants me to be who I am. And so I can clearly relate to Joyce because I feel like, and I'm not saying I'm a preacher. What I'm saying is it's okay to be different. God uses people in different ways for different tasks and for different things. And so we're not all going to be created the same. We all come with different talents, We all look different. We all bring something different to his table. And I'm okay with that. So I'll just share some of the things that I'm different about in my family. Just whatever comes to my mind, nothing in any specific order. Well, for one, I just let my hair grow, right? I stopped dyeing my hair. You guys know, that I've been doing this gray hair journey. A lot of people are not into that. They feel like you should continue to dye your hair and stuff. So that in itself makes me different. I'm walking around with different color hair. I have gray hair, I have brown hair, and I still have some of my black ends. And some people call me out on it and say, is that natural? And I'm like, for the most part, I'm letting it all grow out. And some people say, well, we wanted to see how yours was going to turn out before we even decided, right? And some people won't even, they're not into it. And some people, are, and they say it's really beautiful. So that one thing makes me different. The other thing is I homeschool my kids. A lot of the times people don't understand homeschooling. They don't understand why somebody would sacrifice their time when they can be doing something else to take care of kids. I love kids, and I love my kids even more. And I'm willing to sacrifice myself for their mental health, for their safety, for their protection. And so that has always been something that people see me different as. The other thing is I'm different because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I do work from home. I do provide. I do Facebook. From time to time, I'll do some bookkeeping and stuff, but not always. I try to sell whatever is unused here at home, or you guys know. If you've been here this long, you should know what are some of the things that I do. So that makes me different. Not a lot of people would want to work from home. Not a lot of people feel like they can. They like to be out in the world and working for somebody else. And, I'm just different. I'm different. I'm okay with working from home and being different and being creative and trying different ways so that I can bring income into our home so that our kids are okay. Not everybody understands that. They prefer for me to go. I've done the 9 to 5, the 8 to 5, the all day working. I've had 2 jobs before at a time. I've done all that. But when I had my kids, I knew I wanted to stay at home. I knew I wanted to give the example that my mom gave to me. She was a stay-at-home mom, and she also helped my dad work. And they were always together. And another thing that makes me different is that I love being with my family. I love being with my husband. I love being with them 24/7. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people like to have their breaks. They like to leave. And there's nothing wrong with that. But me, I feel incomplete without my family. So that does make me different. And I know that it's weird to some people. Some people don't understand that I'd prefer to be with my family than to be out with friends or, out doing other things. People don't understand that. What else makes me different? The fact that I love doing makeup videos. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people probably think that's very vain, or she's full of herself, or they can think whatever. It doesn't really bother me anymore. It's kind of like whatever. It's what brings me joy. You get to a point in your life, and I think I got my final push a while back when I just had so many people come at me at the same time for a lot of different reasons, for a lot of different things. And I just came to this, the understanding that it's okay. You gotta let them think whatever they want. You gotta let them, you just gotta let them. And I am so grateful that I stumbled across certain people that create videos and do what I do also. Obviously share different things, right? But I listen to people, and one of the persons that I was listening to, she's really big and she has a big podcast, and she talks about how you gotta let them. And I am so grateful for her videos because they allowed me to understand that it's okay to let people think whatever they want, and it's fine. They can assume, they can think, they can say, they can do, and it's all fine and dandy. At the end of the day, I need to make myself happy, because for a time there, I was always wondering about what people were thinking about me. I was always worried about what people were thinking about me. And it's like, you know what? Ni modo. Like, yeah, I'm done. I was making myself sick. Not just because of grief, of not being able to heal, and about not being able to forgive others, and always trying to please others, and always trying to fit what other people wanted me to fit into. And I have learned that I'm just different. I'm very outspoken. I come with some baggage, but I come with a really strong God, with a very strong testimony in what I believe in. And I know that God loves me with all my imperfections, with me being as different as I am. He's the one that created me. He's the one that created me. So God doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't. And usually God reminds us, he reminds us who we are, what we're meant to do, and what he needs us to do. And so I have learned to please him more and lean more on him than what other people think of me. And so that is what I was thinking about. I was thinking about how different I am, and how all these changes had to come at the specific time in my life for me to understand that it's okay to be who I am, how he designed me to be. He is the one who lets me be free. He lets me be here. He wakes me up every morning. He provides for me. He blesses me. And so nobody else does that for me. So why should I care what other people think? I've learned that I'm never going to please people. I've already tried and I failed. It's never going to happen. I'm going to start applying makeup. So, yeah, I was listening to that podcast and I was like, a lot of the things that they're saying makes a lot of sense. And I'm so grateful that they take the time to make these kinds of videos. Like I take the time to make these videos. Maybe people don't want to watch their podcast, but they'll watch this video. The point is, I'm using the talents God gave me to create videos like this to help others. And it's kind of like a chain reaction. They help me with my healing and my understanding, and God uses them to help others. They're helping me. And then I take that information, use my testimony with it, and then I push it out into the world. And hopefully that'll make a ripple effect. That'll create a ripple effect. And so I'm just so grateful that I finally came to that knowledge. But it took a lot of time with him to come to realize that. I spent a lot of time in bedridden because of my back injuries. And sometimes he would just make me stay still. And so sometimes we don't understand why certain things happen to us. And we're like, why? If I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing right, why am I hurt? Or why are all these bad things happening to us and all these things, right? And sometimes it's because he's preparing you. He's refining you. He's teaching you. He's helping your testimony grow so that you can help others and share and minister to people and help them come closer to God with your testimony, or with your example, or with what else? With your example, with your testimony, with the things that you create. Like I create these videos, right? With the things that you share. Sometimes the way we serve, whether that be in church or how we serve out in our community. So he uses people. He used them to help me. And now I'm doing these videos. And I prayed before doing this video because I didn't know how to a lot of the times I don't know how these videos are going to come out. I don't know what he wants me to share. I look back on it, I listen to it, and the words just flow. And I am like shocked on how they turn out, because I know he's helping me through them, and I know that he's helping me create them, because I know it's going to help somebody. He wants me to help somebody. I don't know who. I sometimes don't even understand why I take the time to do them, because I'm like, I don't really get paid for these things. But I've always had I call it a beautiful heart, because I think a lot of people lack having a kind heart and just doing things without getting paid for it, without receiving anything in return. I'm not going to lie, at some point in time, everybody was on the hype on trying to, get paid through Facebook. And I was actually really happy. I'm like, finally, because I've been doing this for years. And I was like, finally, I'm going to get some type of financial stability from this. But no, that quickly went downhill, and I don't. So if you're thinking I make these videos for that, I don't. I do it to stay more present. I do it not only for other people, I do it for myself, because Facebook has this really wonderful feature where you get to see your memories. And so I keep it as a journal as well. And I like to see where I was at that time. I'm not really great at having journals, like written journals, I was creating one that was like a dream journal, because I was always getting dreams and stuff. And I got so tired of it that I stopped doing it. And I know that that's a gift from him. But I just got lazy with it. And I'm so grateful that I do get to remember a lot of them, but it's really nice to go back to them and read all the details. If you ever have the time, you go back and you read the details and you're like, wow, how wonderful is God that he allows us those beautiful moments. And so I'm just applying this Sephora blush, and I put on some bronzer. Sorry, I didn't even tell you. So I use my Facebook like a journal, and you guys get a front row seat to it, and you guys get to see all the little things that are going on. I don't share everything, but I share a lot. And I hope that one day will be a gift to myself as well. A gift to him, but a gift to myself at some point, so that I can reflect back on how far I've come or what I was going through at that time, right? It's also a gift to my husband, because sometimes he misses some of the things that the kids do. I don't know if my kids or somebody knocked on the door. Hold on. I don't know. The dogs were barking. Sorry about that. Anyway, so yeah, it's a gift to my husband, because sometimes he doesn't get to see what my kids are doing. He has to go out and work. I'm here at home. So sometimes he gets to see videos and things that he probably missed out on. So it's a gift to a lot of people. But it's definitely a gift for him, because I try to share testimony and messages or things that will brighten up people's days or help them get through their day. Like a lot of people helped me get through the days when I was spending really long days in the hospital with my dad, or with my mom, or with my brother, or my husband, because there was a lot of health issues going on in the family for a while. And so that's why I create videos, because I remember how that felt. And I tried to share that journey with you guys, so you guys would see the blessing of taking care of older parents. And yeah, it's a sacrifice on our part to do so, but it is also a gift. It's a gift from God to do so, because we get to learn a lot of things about ourselves that we didn't know we could do. And we reach really deep for strength, and we reach really deep for understanding. And that's when he's the closest to us. And so, yeah, I am so grateful for the opportunity to be able to share on Facebook. And for a while there, I didn't know how to be more present. I had to learn it. I had to go through therapy, which is not a very fun thing to do, because then people start thinking you're crazy. And you're not crazy. You're just seeking help with a better understanding. Maybe somebody else is just time to listen and to share a different, perspective of things, or they kind of bring a different tool into your life that can help you. And you want to get the right kind of therapist. I got one from our church, and so that was actually really beneficial because she could relate to some of the things that I was going through and some of the things I needed to share. And she helped lighten the load for me. She helped me understand, and she gave me some tools that have been really beneficial to me. And I'm just so grateful that God put her in my path and gave me the bishop that I had, that I needed at that time, to help me understand that it was okay to get it and do it and go through it, even if it would seem scary or it seemed like I wasn't strong enough. Because my dad usually would say, like, walk it off, and I felt like if I took therapy that I wasn't strong enough, like I was like kind of like weak. And that's far from the truth. I think you're stronger when you actually go through it, because you have to share a lot of things that are uncomfortable and hard, and you got to put your guard down and allow people to see all the things that you've been carrying. So I think it's quite brave of you to do therapy, regardless of what other people think. And people can talk and they can say and they can think whatever they want. At the end of the day, who cares? Hold on, let me get some eyeshadows. Que digan lo que quieran. They can think you're crazy all you want. It doesn't matter. Because I'm happier now. I'm happier now than I was before. And I didn't even know I needed it, but it helped me. It helped me release. So I'm super grateful for that opportunity. It's been bumpy, it hasn't been easy. It wasn't easy because I only had like 13 sessions, and then that went away. And then I'm like, okay, now what do I do with all this information and these tools? Now what? So it is, and then you have to learn how to use them, and you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to kick and you're going to scream, and you're going to make probably some poor choices, but you're going to make some really good ones, and you're going to learn a lot of things, and you're going to learn boundaries, and you're going to learn things that you didn't know before, and you're going to learn more about self-worth and about not living with guilt, and you're going to learn about having grace with yourself and doing things for yourself, which is what I was lacking. I wasn't doing anything for myself, and now I am. So like I said, I'm a little bit different. And that's okay. And God understands that. And God He knew exactly what I needed. But it was really hard. It was hard to go through all that time. Now I'm starting to see a little bit more of the light. I've been doing things differently so that I could heal better and see better. And now I help a lot of other people. And I create these videos also to help a lot of people that I don't even know. But I do get the certain smiles at church sometimes, or the certain looks at the store sometimes. And I have to be very careful, of how I am and trying to reflect Christ and the things that I try to share out there, because people will base a lot of their thoughts on what they see. And so it's really hard, right? To be spotless and to be perfect. So desde ahorita le estoy diciendo, as of right now, I'm telling you, I'm not perfect. No soy perfecta. I make mistakes all the time. You don't believe me? Ask her. I'm sure somebody has something to say. But for the most part, I try to be a good person. God knows who I am. And that's all that matters. I try my best. I'm not perfect. I do my best, and I try. And that's the key word. You try to be good. You try every day to help others. You try your very best to dig deep and have grace towards others, even when they don't have it towards you. And you might say a few things, a few foul things, but for the most part, you're a good person, I don't think God would allow me to feel as confident as I do if he didn't think I was a good person. He'd be like, mejor cállate, siéntate. Which sometimes we do have to, callarnos y sentarnos and listen to other people, which is what I try to do on a daily basis. I try to listen to positive words, good people, people who share good examples so I can try to be better. Okay. I never thought I was going to be doing anything with communications or being on social media or on platforms and things like that. I never thought that was something I wanted to do. I took a class one time, like an SCC in communications, and I was terrified. I was scared to get up in front of the class. I like my own little corner. I like to just listen and observe. I don't like to be the center of attention and out in the open for the world to judge. But I guess God thinks otherwise. Maybe he sees something in me that I'm still trying to figure out. But I do notice that he helps me with this. He helps me with the words that come out. He helps. He shares. And that's why certain things just flow. And I'm just sometimes like, sometimes at church, I get up and I bear my testimony. And it's scary, but I've been doing it since I was 8 years old with such confidence at 8 years old, or probably before 8 years old. But I remember like around 8, I started like getting up every Sunday. Every Sunday I would go up and I would share my testimony. I know that the Church of Jesus Christ is true. And I know that, you say all these things that and with such boldness as a child. And as you get older, you get a little bit timid and you get a little bit worried about what people are going to think, especially in your teen years, because you want to be cool and you want to be accepted and you want to be, as you get older, it doesn't get easier because now you're an adult and now you have to face adults, and adults always have opinions. That's why I like to stay more with the younger crowd. The younger crowd has a lot more grace. And that's why God asks us to be more like children, because they have more grace. And I can say that because I've taught at church. I've taught little kids. I've taught in nursery. I've been in CTR 5, CTR 7. I was the chorister, which I had no idea what I was doing. They just kind of threw me in there. I have been in seminary. I've been in young women. I do Sunday school now. I've been in communications. So I've been around enough to say that, it's easy to work. It's easier to work with the kids. They're more receptive of the message. They're really smart, and they do ask a lot of questions. So you do need to be quite prepared. And they go by example, and they call you out whenever you make a mistake. Kids are really quick to call you out if you are not on line. I guess it just becomes a little bit scarier with adults. But anyway, I'm using this palette. Sorry, this is the color I was using. It's kind of like this one. Sorry, it's more like I guess. This one's called Plenty of Dough. I don't know. It's kind of like a golden-y, champagne-y shade. I don't know. It's a really pretty one. And so yeah, I have been around enough to know what that is like. So God has other plans, apparently, and he has me sharing certain things. And sometimes he just won't leave me alone. And it's kind of like, say it, say it, say it, say it. And sometimes like I'm like sitting in church and I will be like with my leg just like this, just bouncing on the bench. And my husband is making me aware. He sits next to me and he makes me aware of the fact that I'm not letting him focus because he's bouncing off the bench. And so he's constantly like this, because when I have something to say, my leg is moving. Like It's not that I'm trying to hurry out of there. I'm not trying to like rush people. It's like when I'm doing this, it's because this is going, and it's like he wants me to speak up. That I have something to say. For some reason, I have the need to move my leg because I have something to say. And so it's not always the case. Sometimes I just want to listen. But sometimes I have something I got to say, something that he's urging me to say. And I don't always feel qualified to do, but he's like, you got to get up there. You got to go and share your testimony. You got to go up there and say something. I need you to share this. And so we need to be quite in tune with him to receive that and act on it, because we don't always act on it. I've given up opportunities where he wants me to act and I don't, and then I regret. And so if he is prompting you to say something, it's for a reason. So he prompted me to make this video, and that is why everything is just like flowing, and hopefully you're able to understand what he's wanting me to say. So it's okay to be different. I'm very different. Ask anybody. I'm the crazy one that will throw herself in the pool just to make the youth comfortable. I'm the crazy one that, cracks a joke in the middle of a class or something. I'm the one that breaks out of the box to make things make sense. I'm the one that will create these kind of videos, even if they're uncomfortable and people don't understand why I do them. I'm the one that decides to not dye her hair because it's more freeing. And it's quite pretty, I think, now, to walk around being different. So, different is not a bad thing. Change is not a bad thing. I had to change a lot to get to talk the way I do now, to be able to stand in front of people and not be worried about what they have to say or what they have to think. I'm not going to lie. The enemy does come and tries to pick at you. He tries to pick at me sometimes, and he'll be like, why did you share that? Why did you share that? And you want to start doubting yourself. And I'm like thinking, should I delete it? Should I delete it? Should I delete it? Did I say too much? And then you hear people, and some people have things to say, and sometimes it's family members or, people always have something to say, right? And so you start doubting yourself. But if it was right when God told you to do it, it was you. It's okay. It's okay that you did what you did because you listened to what he told you to do. And at the end of the day, that's what's most important, is for you to be following God's lead and not the world's lead. So it's okay to be different. It's okay to allow change to come into your life, because you're gonna learn. You have to learn something. And that was something that I was failing to see. I didn't like change. I didn't want it. I didn't understand it. But as God forced it into my life, he allowed me to grow, and he allowed me to see where he wanted me to start speaking up and start learning to be more open. A lot of people don't like to be open. They're scared to be open. I was there. I'm not that scared anymore. I will talk to people just randomly at church sometimes to make them feel comfortable. I will guide them because I see them a little lost, and I will grab them. not grab them. I'm not that bad. I don't grab them. I don't touch people. I say hi to them or whatever, but I'll tell if it's a youth or something, I'm like, oh, it's over here. Come come on, follow me. I'll take you. It's not even my class. Now it's my class. Like now it's the Sunday school I teach with the youth. But before it was kind of like, it was my kick to find a new kid or something. And I'd be like, come on. I know where it's at. Come on. Look, here's my kid. This is my son. And look, this is my daughter. My kids are like, but, yeah, I was that person. I know it could be a little bit like she's a bit much sometimes, but I just don't like people feeling lost. I always try to help people. And so I try to like guide them as best as I can, because I wouldn't want to feel lost. I would want somebody to like help me or help me feel comfortable. People have helped me feel comfortable. People have approached me, and especially like with new callings and stuff at church, they'll be like, hey, like, you know, they'll try to share their input or they'll like help, you know, which is really needed when you have a calling to help others. But, yeah, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to grow. And so I try to help people grow. I try to help people feel at peace and feel comfortable, because when people don't feel comfortable, they don't come back. When people don't feel like they fit in, they don't come back. When people don't feel comfortable, they don't even show up. And so I know that God wants us to be that. He wants us to be different and to be open to be yourself. One thing I like is real people. Like, and when I say real people, I like people who are real. I don't like people who are pretending to be a certain way. I like people to be honest of who they are. Don't sugarcoat things for me, because later on I'm going to find out who you are. I prefer to know exactly who you are with all your flaws and imperfections. I just find that to be way more beautiful. I don't like people pretending. Pretending only gets you so far. So I tend to move away from people a little bit from, I want to say move away, but I kind of like sit and observe. I'm an observer. I look, I don't say anything. I just observe people. And then they start showing their true colors, and you kind of know what they're about. So that's why I always say, try to be yourself. I'm myself. This is who I am. I'm different. I'm not your normal person. But God seems to like that. He seems to love that. You guys seem to like that because you're here. And I'm grateful for my page growing. And I sometimes don't understand how people find a lot of the things that I do interesting. But they do. And I feel like it's a lot of the times it's because I just try to be myself. I don't try to sugarcoat things. If I cry, I cry. If I'm happy, I'm happy. If I'm upset, I say it, even if I'm not being the best example. And sometimes my mom tells me I'm not being, that I share too much, and that que me estoy portando mal. And sometimes I see a friend at church and wants to call me out on something, and I'm like, ¿qué? I'm like, what? You got something to say? So, ya no me dejo. Antes I'd be like, and I'd delete, and I would be like, oh, I can't be myself. Oh, ya me valió. Now it's kind of like, whatever. That's why it's good to be comfortable with yourself. And that's why it's good to learn to love yourself. Because when you love yourself, others can love you. If you don't love yourself, I had to learn that. If you don't love yourself, how can you expect somebody else to love you? If you don't value yourself, how do you expect people to value you? If you don't take care of yourself, don't expect others to do it. Another point I have, besides change and besides being different, is, actually no se me fue, hold on. The other point I had was servicing. I wrote a piece yesterday about service, and I hope it didn't offend anybody. It wasn't meant to. It was meant because it was on me, and when things are just on you, it's because you got to say it. So anyway, servicing. I've served many people. I went to school to become a medical assistant and a patient care tech. Slowly went from medical assistant to the paper side of things and quickly got into working at nursing homes. And I became a department head working in central supply. I took care of the central supply for the entire facility and for 2 facilities, actually. I worked at Las Palmas Nursing Home, and then I worked at Mission Nursing Home so I worked at Las Palmas Nursing Home for like a year. I worked at a chiropractic clinic. I worked in an orthopedic clinic. I worked at Mission Nursing Home for like 5 years. I had 2 jobs. I was working at the Mission Nursing Home and on the weekends for like a year. And I worked there for 5 years, but for 1 year, I worked 2 jobs. I worked at the orthopedic clinic for the full week. And then on the weekends, I would go do reception at Mission Nursing Home. And then from there, I went to work at a chiropractic clinic. And then I ended up working, I went to work at a sign language company. That used to be my aunt's business. And she had several businesses there. So I took care of like 4 or 5 of her businesses. She had a sign language company, Nephi's bookstore in there. She had Cinco Rentals, so it was rental of properties. She had STCDHH, which is South Texas Deaf and Hard of Hearing. I don't know if there was another one. I can't remember right now. So I took care of all those businesses for her. I was doing the accounting for her. I learned bookkeeping there. So I became the accountant department manager. Then I moved to my uncle's office and I worked as a biller, as a bookkeeper, and then as a biller, medical biller. And then after that, I had my son. And so I stayed home after that. I didn't want to leave him. But I was still working from home for that same company for Universal at one point. And I was still doing medical billing for 2 therapy places, which was MindWorks Rehab and ProCare Rehab. So I was doing the medical billing for them. So I have a lot of experience, guys. I was out there. I was servicing a lot of people. And then we opened up a business with my brother, which was Handyman of RGV. And then I started working with my aunt again for Cinco Rentals, and I just was renting a lot of apartments. You guys should know that. I did that for quite a while with my dad, and I would work with him alongside when he was working with the lawyer, and so I would help him with that. And then I just started doing Facebook and selling and did my own little thing. And now I work for my sister's companies. So she had several companies. She had Be Optimum Safety Supplies, which we sell safety supplies. She has Beafit, which is basically, she does lymphatic drainage massages. But she's up in Tulsa, so that's further away. And she would sell health supplements. And that was another business for her. And so she's had several businesses. And I also do bookkeeping for my other sister and her husband, which is SG Painting. So I have a lot of experience. I'm still doing that right now. I'm still doing bookkeeping and I work from home, but I do it here and there. My main priority is to watch over my kids and homeschooling. So I've been servicing my entire life other people that I kind of forgot to service myself and take care of myself. And so I'm in a time right now where I think God is trying to teach me to learn more about myself and to heal. And what I mean by heal is heal my heart, heal my mind, heal my body. I was going in a very bad direction where I was seeing a lot of symptoms that were not really good. And I was kind of worried there for a little bit, but not really. Because when you have faith the way I do in God, you're kind of like, whatever. People could say, go check yourself, go check yourself, go check yourself. Like they live with that worry. Like you need somebody else to help you or diagnose you. I've learned to heal. Because if I help my husband heal so many wounds, and I help my dad heal so many wounds, and God gave me the medical background and the understanding, and I've been in enough hospitals and doctor's visits and worked in several places of care, that I know that I can get through the things I'm going through. Now they might be hard, and I might vent, and I might get upset about things because I feel like, why me? Why me? Why do I have to go through this? Why does he have to go through this? Why does my husband have to go through this? Why does my dad have to leave? Why does, I ask a lot of questions, but I've gained enough knowledge to know that the body knows how to heal itself, and we just have to help it. And with God's help, anything is possible. And so I'm in a time right now where I'm trying to heal myself, and I'm trying to serve myself. And a lot of people don't understand that. And that also makes me very different. It makes me different because people don't understand that I'm finally putting myself first and trying to heal myself first. And people want to see you doing what they're doing. They want to see you doing their hustle. They want you to put your kids in school like everybody else. They want you to, hold on, let me close the door because the dogs are barking at me. They feel the need that you need to fit a mold or their mold. And I don't want to fit a mold. I will kick and scream and make you understand that my way is not your way. And God has something different designed for me specifically, and he has it for you. So don't ever allow people to push you in a direction you do not feel comfortable in. And I had to learn that because I used to be a people pleaser, and I learned through therapy, and not just through therapy, through life lessons, that I am never going to please anybody. And as much as I try, I exhaust myself. I got so burned out to the point where I was done, and I was getting really sick. And I don't want to go into details about it, but I was getting really sick. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I wanted to give up on everything because I didn't understand. I'm in a place right now where I'm stronger because he has helped me get back up and heal and learn to take care of myself. And learn to put boundaries, and learn to not allow people to push me around, which I never did before. My dad knew that about me. Por eso siempre decía, ayúdenme, quítenmela. Because, I was always the person who always pushed back. I didn't understand. I needed to understand things. I always pushed back. Why does it have to be this way? It doesn't have to be this way. There could be change. If you spoke to somebody differently, maybe it wouldn't be that way. I always pushed the other person's reasoning. That's just who I am. I'm different. And I think that's why God uses me in a way to get to people, to make them understand that it's okay. Especially like when you minister to others, you try to understand where they're coming from. If you can't put yourself in other people's shoes, you have no business ministering. Ministering to others requires a big heart. You can't go. And what I mean by ministering is going there and just sitting with them and trying to understand their situation, trying to help them, trying to maybe not take away the pain that they're living, because you're not God. You can't take away their pain, but maybe just sit with them. Just sit with them for a time. You don't need to say anything. You don't need to fix anything, because that's how people got with me. People got to me. I was that person who got offended at some point in time. I've been offended many times. People say things, people do things, people hurt you. And I've been that person. People don't understand what you're going through. So I've been that person. So I put myself in other people's shoes, and I will not allow injustice. I will speak my mind before I allow other people to be treated in an unfair way. And I think that's how God uses me. God allows me to sit with them, talk with them. They minister to me in many ways. They teach me. So it's not a one-way thing. It's not me just ministering to them. It's them ministering to me, them sitting with me in my time of need. I'm sitting with them in their time of need. And so, I don't know, this is me ministering to a lot of people on Facebook. And that's not even an assignment. That's just me receiving help from him, sharing it out into the world, and allowing him to use that however he needs to. So it's okay to be different. It's okay to invite change into your life, because remember that on the other side, there's a lot of miracles and there's a lot of blessings coming. So you might be going through something bad right now, but it doesn't mean it's going to last forever. And unfortunately, sometimes we can't see. We can't see, and we give up things that we really love doing or we really loved because we can't see clearly. But once you get past that and God helps you, you will see better, and you will see, and he's testing your faith. He's wanting you to learn to lean on him more and trust him more. But let me tell you, it's hard, because I've had to go through a lot of things at the same time, come at me all at the same time, and I myself gave up. I was like, if I'm doing everything you say you want me to do, and I'm serving and I'm doing and everything, why am I going through all these things? I'm sure all of you have been there. And if you haven't, then maybe that's why you can't share the things I share. You have to have walked through some fires for God to work on you, to refine you, to be able to speak the way I do. And I've heard a lot of people speak before. I sit and watch and I listen, and I've heard so many talks. I can't even imagine how many talks in my life I have listened to, and I've read, and the scriptures and everything. I have so much knowledge, I don't even know how it fits in my brain, that I'm able to speak the way I do now. And I've been able to hear so many amazing speakers with such beautiful testimonies, but they've walked really, really tough lives and things that I would not want to walk through. And so we need to be careful what we ask for. I asked God that I wanted to be a light out in the world. And I know that that's a really not hard, because I don't feel like it's hard per se. I think it's more like a little bit uncomfortable, because it's not hard. It's just uncomfortable because you worry about what people think and say and all that. But I'm glad he just put me in a different place now, where I'm like, not really caring at this particular moment. I'm not going to tell you it's not going to worry me down the line, but for right now, I feel really strong, and I feel like it's because of all the things I've been listening to, the scriptures I read, the connection I have with him. Because if you know God the way I know God, you know that he's with you, and you know that he wouldn't allow you to share the things that are not right. At least for me, I feel like he guides me and helps me grow and prepares me. So when I do need to share a message, it just comes. And if not, you kind of feel, you get like a little stupor of thought. For me, at least, I feel like it's just kind of like you get scrambled and you don't know really what to say. But when it flows, you know you have divine help. You know you have help, because if not, you wouldn't be able to put everything and allow it to flow the way it does. And so I'm grateful to come to the understanding through other people's messages, through God's help, that it's okay to be different. It's okay to invite change. It's okay to serve others, but also be willing to allow other people to serve you and teach you. And what else? I don't know if there's another thing that I need to share. Trying to see what else I could share about that. But that was kind of weighing on me. That was kind of like, not a weighing, but kind of like, okay, this is something I need to share. This is something I need to put out into the world. Maybe it'll help somebody. And that's at the end of the day, that's the entire goal, to help others, to help people get through their day and help people maybe think things a little bit differently that maybe didn't make sense before. Shed some light. I said a prayer once that I wanted to do something really big for God. And I was sharing this with a friend at church, and I was telling him, I told God that I wanted to do something really big for him. And he was like, well, that's the problem, girl. Because I was being bombarded with so many trials and so many things coming at me. So you got to be careful with your prayers. But I really believed in my heart that I wanted to do something big for him. That I felt so blessed, I guess, that I felt like I wanted to do something big for him. And I feel like I'm still trying to do that in my own way now. Without pressure, without stress. I allowed the creativity to flow when needed. Before I was doing it, but I felt a lot of pressure. And I felt a lot of like, what are they going to think? What are they going to say? Did I do it right? Are they going to tell me something? And now it's kind of like, no, it's all on me. It's between me and him. It's put out into the world. If he wants it shared, he'll allow it to be shared. If he doesn't, he won't. And so that's where I stand now. But I'm okay with being different. I'm okay with if the day of tomorrow he changes the agenda and he wants me to do something else. Like for a time, he wanted me to do homeschooling videos to help others. For a time, I was doing makeup and, sharing different videos or helping people financially, like try to get freebies and coupons and all that stuff. For a time, I was doing arts and crafts. Maybe that's what people needed at the time. For a time, I was doing renting apartments, trying to help people find a place to live. For a time, I was selling things. For a time, I was sharing all the medical stuff we were selling. I've done it all on here. And so I'm just going with the flow. This is what it is right now. This is what he has me doing. And I hope that it serves somebody. I still try to bring makeup videos and I try to bring food stuff. For a time I was doing food. Maybe that was entertaining for people in hospitals or just people lifting them up with food stuff. You guys seem to love that. But right now this is what I'm called to do. And so I hope it doesn't bother anybody. I hope it helps somebody instead. And it's helping me, if anything, it's helping me to stay present, to feel loved by him, to feel like I'm being creative again, to feel like I'm being a light out there. We need more people to do so. There's a lot of noise out there. It's not always good. I'm trying to be a good voice out there. I hope I always remain one. But I do have my challenges like everybody else, and I am human, and I go through things, and I hope you all have some grace with me, because at the end of the day, it's really hard to be on a platform and come up here and put your face out there and put all your feelings and testimony and life out there for the whole world to judge and see and evaluate and dissect. And trust me, I've lost a few people because they were not very nice and said some not very nice things. And it's hard because it's hard to come on here. Well, it's easy to come on here. I can just turn on the camera, but it's hard to come on here and put feelings and things aside to share things. And so I hope people have grace with other people, other creators that do so. It's not easy to put yourself out in the world for people to judge. But at the end of the day, like I said, that doesn't matter. When you get to a place like I have, que ya me está valiendo, that I'm not really caring anymore. You get to see a different side. The other day I was telling my mom, I was telling her, look, I wish I wish I could share exactly what I'm thinking, what I want to say sometimes, and I just want to. There's a lot of good, not just bad. There's a lot of good, but I wish that I could do so freely. But I know that I'm trying to be a better example. I'm trying to be more refined, walk on higher ground, and so I'm trying to. Pero pues a veces se me sale. Sometimes it just comes out, and I feel like that's what people like to see. Que se me salga. My friend from church, she always told me, I want to see it. She was like, I want to see it. I only saw the 9.5. I didn't see the whole 9.56. And then she always makes me laugh because like I try not to get to the 9.56 side. But sometimes some people just get under your skin. A veces la gente nomás quieren ver ese lado de ti que no estás tratando con... Estás tratando de calmarte. Si supieran. If you only knew. That is why I try to walk with Christ, because he's the only one that tames me at the moment since my dad's not around. My dad was the only one that could tame me. Pero maybe that's why I'm doing this now. Because if he was around, he'd probably be like, Gina, ya, párale. Probably be like, hey, ya, párale tu vato. He didn't like Facebook all that much. He didn't think it was for the wisest people. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I shared a video of his exact words and thoughts, and they were not the very nicest. My dad was quite the character and felt the need to share things quite vocally. He didn't sugarcoat things. But that's how I learned. So don't think I don't know the words. Sometimes I find that people walk around me trying to be so perfect, like they think I'm like I don't say bad words, or I don't think bad words, or like I walk so straight. Nombre, si supieran. When they start hearing me talk like that, when I say nombre, or when they hear my words come out, not like, I won't say like bad words. I'm very careful with saying bad words in public and stuff. No. Aquí en la casa is something different. A veces se me sale una que otra. So my kids know. But I try to walk a bit more refined out in public because I know who I'm representing. And we need to be that example for people. We need to be more refined. And that's not pretending. That's simply knowing that we need to walk higher and that we need to be better examples to those around us. But if we're being honest here, you don't need to pretend around me. It is what it is. I like people who are real. I like people who are different. I like people who are Christ-like, but that keep it real, that they tell you how it is. And, you know, I like that crowd more. Anyway, I guess that's the message I have for you for today. I hope it entertained you in some way, or helped you in some way, or made your day better, or if anything, just kind of helped you pass the day a little bit faster. Or maybe I was a little bit of noise in the background. I don't know. Just something. God wanted me to be something for you today. So take that as a gift from me to you, or from him to you. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you guys soon. I know you guys don't ever want me to leave. I know you guys want me to keep on talking, but I have more information I need to gather so that I can come with more videos. But if you did like this video, go ahead and leave me a thumbs up. That really does help. Don't be lazy. People are lazy and they don't want to like hit the freaking like button. ¿Ves? Ya se me están saliendo las palabras. See? My words are coming out already. Just hit the like button so that I know you watched it. Because if not, I'm walking around out in public and then people are like looking at me funny and I don't even know if you even watched the video. Like, at least tell me you watched the video so I know to be careful because I said something or whatever. Do yourself a favor, because if not, you come out in public or like you come to me and you say hi to me and I have no clue who you are. I don't know who you are because you didn't take the time to like the video, but yet you want to be like my nutty buddy. But how can I be your nutty buddy if I don't even know you watched it? So you can't come up to people if you're not letting them know that we communicated, that we understood each other, that you were watching and you saw or you had a thought. You can have thoughts, just be nice. Don't be mean. If you're mean, I'm going to delete you or I'm going to block you. But if you're nice, you can have a difference of opinion, but just be nice. Be Christ-like. It's not hard. Or nomás deja un thumbs up. You don't have to say much. If you're afraid of offending me, just leave a thumbs up. Or just leave a little heart. I love hearts. You guys know I put a lot of hearts all over my page. Or put a happy face. Because we always want you to be happy. Anyway, my sister always thinks I'm weird. She always says, why are you so weird? Why are you so stupid? Nomás a ella la dejo que me hable así. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna go now. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'm trying to get my sister to do more videos too. She makes a lot of cute videos for kids, because you just have to go watch her. I post her on my timeline. You have to watch her. I'll post it on here. I'll try to go and get it and link it here. I don't know if she wants me to do that. Mejor I'll just put it on the timeline and go look for her. And then my other sister also shares, so I'll try to share her too. And we're just trying to rise up and try to be a light out in the world. I encourage you guys to do the same. Try to do that. Try to be a light out there. Don't be spreading hate or nomás andando los chismes. No, hay que ser productivos. You have to be productive. My dad always said to be productive. O levanten un librito. Pick up a book, he would say. Levanten un librito, a ver qué aprenden. Pick up a book and see what you learn. That's what he would always say. So, I already shared a lot. A lot of thoughts, a lot of things for you guys to think about. Work on yourself. Don't worry about other people. Work on yourself. Concentrate on yourself. When you work on yourself, it shows. Look, I'm losing weight. Look, it shows. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm better. My hair is growing. I'm putting on makeup now. I seem happier. I'm more present. I have a lot of knowledge to share. I'm being more Christ-like, having more grace with people. I am smiling again. I'm receiving hugs more. I'm in a very better state of mind. And I hope that that shows, and I hope that brings you joy. Because I know I was a little sad there for a while, and I know it was hard for people to watch, and maybe people didn't want to watch that. I don't want to be like that. Nobody ever wants to be like that. So let's be better. Let's share uplifting things, but it's also okay to be real. So if sometimes I come on here crying, or I come here with a thought, or I come here sad, aguántense. Y si no, wait for another video. But be nice. Don't be mean. Don't be rude. I don't tolerate that here. I do not tolerate people's hateful comments, rude comments, dissective comments, disrespectful comments. Other than that, you're welcome. Be kind. Be nice. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.